Alright, so today I wanted to show you guys my outdoor gym setup. Today is leg day. We're going to start off with a couple of warm-ups first. Kind of a couple of dynamic stretches, get the hips and knees ready. So I usually like to warm up. Start out with squats. I like to warm up first with an empty bar before adding weights. That way it just kind of wakes everything up, gets the legs loose, gets the glutes loose, quads, hamstrings. Do that for a couple. You only need one warm-up set. You ain't got to warm up for 20 minutes. You ain't got to warm up for 50. It just takes one set to warm up and your body's ready to go. And I just did 8 of 10 reps. And I like to keep the bar kind of high on my traps. That way I can keep I want to focus on my quads. If you want to do more hamstring and glute and lower back, set the bar about 2 to 3 inches lower than what you typically would across here, and you'll activate that. So now I'm going to add some weights. I'm going to do 4 sets, 8 to 12 reps. We're going to start out with 135, kind of do a progressive overload. I'll add weight as I go. And then, so now I'm just going to put on 45s. And that's one of the perks of being able to work out outside, is that it's pretty out here. You don't have to listen to a whole bunch of people hollering, screaming, yelling, wait on a machine. Who am I gonna wait on? All right, so now I've got the bar loaded. Do my first set. And you want to get that deep stretch going. So go as low. Try to get your hips below your knee if you can. That way you can get that deep stretch. And maintain control of your weight. Arms close. So now at the end of my squat, I usually like to finish with 335, 340, because I'm by myself and I don't have any way to stop it if I get stuck, catch a cramp, etc. So basically I'm at the mercy of, if I do happen to have something go wrong, that I have to just drop it off my back. So once again, 4 sets, 8 to 12 reps. So next I like to do a couple of stiff-legged deadlifts. You want to do about 50 to 60% of your max. Think of it as kind of a typical conventional deadlift, except for a straight leg deadlift. You're going to keep your hips up, knees slightly straight, and you're going to hinge off your hips. This is going to use your hamstrings, glutes, and lower back, forcing them to do all the work. I do these 2 sets, 8 reps. You don't want to go too heavy until you're comfortable with doing it. It's kind of awkward at first. Remember, high hips, knees slightly straight. So next, I like to do some Bulgarian split squats. Be a little bit more quad dominant. 4 sets, 8 reps. If you put a slight lean in your stance, then it's going to be more emphasis on the hamstring and the glutes as well. I usually step it off, that way I know roughly about where I need to be. Place the foot. Next, I like to do leg extensions. It's more quad isolated and quad focused. The hamstrings and the glutes can't take over. So if your quads are something you're trying to work on, leg extensions are a great leg exercise. They're not bad for your knees, regardless of what you hear. They're not bad for your hips. It's not a bad workout. So if you hear somebody say that leg extensions are a bad workout, don't listen to them. It's a great leg exercise, especially for the rectus femoris head. That's the only muscle that crosses the knee joint and the hip joint, and it allows you to get that deep stretch. You can set a pad between your legs if you need to. I'm not at the gym, so on mine I'm kind of limited on my mobility, but if you're set up at the gym, you can set a pad between your shins to get a more deeper stretch, and you want to sit as far back in your bench as you can. That way you can get that deep stretch going. So next we're moving on to the leg press, still at 4 sets, 8 to 12 reps. High volume leg press for quad dominance. Since the deadlift was hamstring and glute, this will allow you to focus a little bit more on your quads. You want to look for a quality depth. Go as deep as you comfortably can without allowing your lower back to round noticeably. Lock your knees at the top, but a slight bend will allow you to feel it a little bit more in your quads. And remember, smooth and consistent reps. Finally, we have calf raises. 4 sets, 8 to 12 reps. You want to adjust the pads to a height where your knees are slightly bent. Personally, I like using this machine as it allows for a deeper stretch. Drop your heels back as low as possible, then come up all the way onto your toes. Slow, controlled reps. Try to avoid any bouncing. Remember, let your calves do the work, not momentum. Feet slightly out will focus more on your inner calf. Feet slightly in will focus more on your outer calf.